today I'm going to be talking about how to improve your friendships. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are a younger audience and you're like, "Oh, well, I don't really need to improve my friendship. It's fine how it is." But there's also a lot of people that are older and they struggle with maybe toxic friendship, or maybe you struggle with communication, so you just can't communicate effectively. And that's also something that I was going to touch base on because communication is key for a friendship. If you can't communicate, then you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to be maybe annoyed at this person because they keep doing something that you don't like. And if you can't communicate that, you're going to be stuck there being upset at that person and it's just going to fall apart. So I would say maybe either if it's an online friend, go on like a Discord call or something, or if it's an in real life friend, talking in person is way more effective in that sense. Talking in person is main priority, what you should do. Because if you don't talk in person, it's very easy to get even more mad at that person and just go into a scream fest. So if you have the option, talk in person. It's very important. If you can't do that, because like let's say your friend's an online friend, just get onto a call, kind of evaluate really what really bothers you, and say maybe, hey, really bugs me when you do this. Can you maybe either fix that, or maybe it's something you do too. So you could be like, hey, I think it's really bad when we do this. Do you want to help like fix it together? And if they're like, no, well then I feel bad for you, first of all. I don't like that's not something that should happen. Usually people would try to improve themselves, but if it's not something they're willing to do, then I would evaluate like, okay, if this person isn't willing to improve themselves, then should I actually stay in this friendship? Because it's extremely important to be able to like communicate, improve each other to improve your friendship. But there's a lot of people that aren't willing to change, and that's kind of a huge problem because people should be willing to improve themselves to help improve friendships. It's not always one-sided. A lot of friendships have like two sides when they both struggle with that thing. So being able to like build each other up, help each other with like maybe you guys get like way too mad at each other. You guys start like raging at each other. Maybe you could come to your friend and say, hey, I've noticed we scream at each other and get mad at each other a lot. I don't think that's healthy for a friendship. Maybe we should try to not do that and maybe try to handle our emotions together. Because if you're the only one putting in the effort to change, then you're the only one that's going to change and it's going to stay the same for the other person. So you have to communicate that if that's what both people do. It's extremely important, or else you're never gonna fix that thing and you're just gonna stay upset at that person because they haven't changed it. Because people can't read each other's minds. You have to communicate things. Even if you think it's the most obvious thing in the world. A lot of people don't pick up on that because nobody can read each other's minds. So I would say, go in, communicate that you're upset with this, or you want to help like and do this together to improve you guys' friendship. I would say if they don't agree and be like, no, I don't think I'm doing anything wrong, even though they actually are, not just because you feel that way. Like, put your emotions to the side, like put it like over there, throw it over there, and then think to yourself, am I just mad at this person and making up things in my head, or is this person actually doing it? And if they are, if you genuinely believe they are, maybe you can talk to a few other people, see if it's not just you seeing that. Then I would say the person might not be for you if they're not willing to change and improve themselves. Because improvement is extremely important. People should improve themselves. I don't see why they wouldn't, but people should improve themselves. And if they aren't willing to, that's a huge problem because you'll just be stuck. Let's say they're like a basement dweller, if you will, and they're like sitting there eating like their chips and stuff, and you come to them and they're like, hey, you know, this isn't a healthy lifestyle. I feel like you should improve on that. And if they're like, no, I want my chips, then I mean that says a lot. Wouldn't want to be associated with that if I not that that sounds really bad. If that person, if I were you, and if they aren't willing to improve and you're just ahead of them on that factor in life, then it might be your time to leave, because it's a lot harder than that, right? I mean, nobody wants to leave people, especially if you've known them for a long time. But if you like really evaluate, this person is just gonna drag me down. If I have to like wait on them, then it's probably best if I leave, because nobody wants to wait on people for that type of stuff. People want to be able to just improve themselves freely without people holding them down. So if that person is holding you back, or tugging you down into the abyss of maybe depression or something, I don't know, it's time to really assess how you feel about that person and leave if it's necessary, because your health is more important than staying by that person that makes you feel terrible.